Hello, everyone. My name is Lucifer, and welcome to the Shadow of Jupiter. I think it's called SSSM, the Shadow of Jupiter. I don't know what SSSM stands for, but also this game is meant to be like a space kind of game. It's about a story kind of game where you're exploring the story of some people or something out in space. And I don't know much more than that. I am fascinated by space. Space is something that's been a big part of my childhood and me growing up. I used to talk to my grandpa a lot about space, and he'd teach me a lot of things about space, about planets, stars, and all that kind of things. I used to own many books of space. So this game intrigued me because it looked just interesting, which is obvious because that's how it's intrigued me, and that makes sense, all right? I'm sure it does. And from the looks of it, I don't think it's like a proper like story game. I think it's kind of like a game where you have to go through notes, read through it, and see where it's going. So sit back, relax with some nachos, obviously. Who likes popcorn? And let's see the story about space. Darkmail. Oh, whoa, there we go. I'll put it in the middle for now. Sure, why not? Darkmail inbox. FOIA request declined. Oh, okay. FOIA request declined. Can I increase this? I can't. So sad. Your request for documents concerning Shuttle 5 has been declined as the material has been judged to be commercially sensitive at this time. You may resubmit this request no sooner than 6 months from the date of this judgment, in which case the commercial sensitivity will be reviewed and an updated judgment will be issued. Interesting. All right. I might replace the music in the background, which is this very upbeat, funky music, to like a more sinister kind of music because I think that'll suit this a little bit more. But Shuttle 5. New Shuttle 5 nears It nears an OBJ. Eyes on the prize. Shuttle 5 nears objective. After a year of waiting, Shuttle 5 is finally completing its approach to Jupiter. In the coming weeks, the shuttle is expected to swing behind the gas giant to capture high-quality surface imagery, as well as conducting several gravity-sensitive experiments. Mission Chief Brett Evans remains confident, declaring systems are nominal and the team remains in high spirits, ready to complete their mission. That's an alien. That's definitely an alien. Well, I can take this image out. I don't want to take it out. Okay. Shuttle 5. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna try and do it like this, where that opens up into this, and then this opens up into this, and then this opens up into this, and then like that, something like this. It makes sense. Okay. I'm gonna do it like this. This opens up to that. This opens up here. This opens up like multiple things. This makes sense in my head. It shouldn't be, but it is. There we go. It somehow makes sense.
Someone just locked the window and that freaked me out. Oh god.
Okay, this one first. Shuttle 5 mission. Mankind first steps into the outer planets. Shuttle 5 is a crewed mission to conduct science at the edge of Jupiter. The first crewed mission in a decade, Space Shuttle 5 represents a reignition of the space program that looks to open the stars to commercial enterprises. This mission will conduct remote surveys of the moons of Jupiter, probe the extreme gravity of the gas giant, as well as as a host of general astronomical science, including deep space psychometrics. Okay, this is the only one for this one, so we'll go down. Because we have one more for this, which I think has to go like that, so we'll see. But deep space psychometrics. Ooh, this is the only one for this. An emerging field of study into the effects of deep space exposure on the human body and moods and behavior. It is thought that the claustrophobic and isolated conditions of deep space combined with the long mission durations will pose unique challenges for you. Oh yeah, there was recently, it was done by NASA recently, where they made a small mission, like they brought up a group of people and they've simulated a Martian environment and they've made them stay there, and I think they'll stay there for like the next 1 year, starting from like a couple of days ago. And it's going to be an interesting study to see how people will simulationally, that's a true word, that's a real true word, they'll see how they will react and be like they would be on Mars. I'm not making any sense right now, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying because I'm making so much sense right now. Anyways, the next one was Brett Evans. This one goes here because of what I said before. Haha. I'll go there-ish.
Oh, yeah, yawning.
I'm not yawning. I would never be yawning for this. Brett Evans joins Deep Space Horizons. Brett Evans has announced his departures from Inteltrax Informatics to join the board at Deep Horizon. With yet another high-profile personnel change at Deep Space Horizon, there is strong suspicions that a new mission will be announced shortly. More on that as it comes. Interesting. So he's an alien too. I see. And now that's lost in the... Okay, there we go. I'll do it like that just because that gives me just more ability to click on stuff. That makes sense. Okay, so next one is Inteltrax Informatics, which will go over here. Inteltrax Informatics. Inteltrax is a leading global provider of data and logistical services. Our commitment to data-first approach is highly valued by governments and private corporations alike. Inteltrax has approximately 470,000 people across 160 countries and territories. Huh. That's candy. Right, Deep Horizon. Here we go. Deep Horizon is the world's leader in rocketry and autonomous lunar operations. Deep Horizon are responsible for fulfilling 71% of all government space contracts and operate only commercial moon base in existence. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. There's a story forming here. Breaking exclusive. Contact lost with Shuttle 5. Oh. Contact lost with Shuttle 5. Following initial reports of communications issues from Deep Horizon Mission Control, Brett Evans has now announced that Deep Horizon 5 has lost contact with Shuttle 5. As planned, communications were supposed to suspended while Shuttle 5 through the shadow of Jupiter and connected the main suite of experiments. Despite visual confirmation that the shuttle has emerged as expected, Mission Control were unable to re-establish contact with the crew of Shuttle 5. Interesting. Oh. What? The blood of the gods? What? Security policy changed. Following the Deep Horizon leak earlier this year, we have been rolling out new security measures. The final stage of this is two-factor logins for on-site access to the intranet, which is now in effect. Intranet does make sense because it's not internet because it's intra, right? It makes sense in my head. I know what I'm talking about. You know, you me. Which is now in effect. Access to secure internal documents and pages is suspended for all employees until their credentials have been approved by individual. Ah. Okay. I guess we're gonna go for Deep Horizon. Deep Horizon leak. Space shuttle sex murders. What? Okay, sex murders. Here we go. Now it's getting spicy. Shocking new details have emerged following Deep Horizon's latest attempt concerning the loss of all hands on Shuttle 5. An anonymous source from within Deep Horizon, fearing a cover-up, has leaked internal memos confirming the incidents aboard Shuttle 5, which describe homicidal mutilation, but is further concluded to be of an obvious sexual nature. The leaked documents offer no insight into the perpetrator or motive of the massacre. This is getting spicy. Oh, I wasn't expecting. Sex murder? Okay, someone's going in on there. Oh, look at that. Look at all those people. Look at all those definitely people with faces there. In memory of Shuttle 5, which has been drifting silently for the past couple of months, has now arrived in Earth's orbit, and the worst has been confirmed. It is with deep sadness I must confirm the loss of all hands aboard Shuttle 5. A full investigation is underway into the circumstances, and I would ask for the sake of the families to refrain from speculation until we can make our findings known. Vigils are expected countryside as the nation comes to terms with this tragic loss. Okay. Oh. I'll click on you in a second. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's kind of bad. That's very bad. Hope for Shuttle 5. It has been weeks of radio silence from Shuttle 5, which has been uncontactable ever since it passed behind Jupiter. But there is fresh hope today in statement from Deep Horizon. Despite failure to re-establish contact with the crew of the Shuttle 5, we have been able to access navigational telemetry and can confirm the shuttle is maintaining its intended course back to Earth.
Uh-huh.
While the absence of any contact or signal of any kind from the crew suggests the worst, we still hold out hope for the possibility that they're alive and well and waiting out the journey quietly. Shuttle 5 is expected to enter Earth's orbit late this year, and until then our thoughts remain with the crew and their families. Passed behind Jupiter. Put that there. Contact lost with Shuttle 5 following initial reports of communication issues from Deep Horizon Control. Oh no, okay, we already went through this. It's one of these. No, this was a previous one, right? So we've already been through that. Security policy changes. Following the Deep Horizon leak, which is that. Okay, so that's the same before. That was already there before. Now we need to go for this one. 2-vector validation. Your 2-vector dongle has been validated by your supervisor and your access rights are now restored. Oh. Project status. DNA analysis. Here we go. Now it gets spicy. Alright. This is interesting. This is like a creepypasta, but you're going through all of it. It's like one of those SCP stories, but you're like the actual person, like the scientist, going through all the reports. This is really cool. Panacea project status. The board are extremely pleased with the progress and have approved the full funding request. The blood cultivation group are confident and ready to ramp up to full market production on time. The latest hurdle is the inhibitor group, but I am assured they are one breakthrough away from full stabilization.
Oh.
Okay, I'll put that over there, and that over there. Okay. DNA analysis. DNA structure, despite anomalies, present classified DNA analysis. Right, so it's all classified because now we're a worker working in the thing. Right. Present in the gene analysis appears undisturbed and unquestionably terrestrial. Gene expression has been heavily moderated with large swathes of suppression and novel stem cells activation and discount from the drastic bodily changes. This reminds me of Endoparasitic for some reason, because Endoparasitic has a space station and they were like and they found like a genetically modified creature, then which then gave the people powers and all that. Gene analysis. I'll put that down there. I'll put that like kind of like over here-ish. That makes sense, you know. You keep on going there and then you go like that, right? That makes kind of sense, right? Like what I'm doing, right? I don't think so. Gene analysis. Distinct DNA present in each. Oh, formation of the cluster. I'll do that in a second. Corresponding to expected crew members. Bloodstreams are a mixture of DNA types partially matching crew. Anomalous genes present in all samples, but highly pronounced in blood.
Okay.
Huh. So this is a cluster. Specimen observation. The cluster's continued writhing may perhaps be the motivation by a need to continuously exercise muscle. This could also explain the disturbing vocalization. Oh. Despite the clear discomfort during the procedure, the cluster remains stable after the excision of the exterior torso, and the amputation points are healed remarkably quickly. Perhaps you're too hasty? Could the torso also have been kept alive? This just reminds me of Endoparasitic so much. Trauma extremities during excision cluster. No additional external wounds, little side markings, visceral display. Incursion of there's an unusual presence of gray matter development.
Huh.
Interesting. All right, here we go. This keeps on going. Oh wow, okay. Nerve analysis. The nerve distribution. Okay, what was the nerve analysis for this? Heavily atrophied with extensive incursions of nervous system. Okay. The nerve deterioration can only be described as progressive decentralization of the brain without the body. There is no other explanation for neurons and structural network observed. It is highly unlikely that such a radical division of any brain could still support a conventional form of consciousness. So in this, there is evidence of complex neuronal activity well beyond the road. Oh. Interesting. So this basically means...
Yawning. I'm not yawning, I promise. I'm still not yawning.
This basically means that the nerves of this creature or these people transforming are deteriorating, and that means that they don't have a complex network and they can't communicate properly. I think that's what it means, at least. I could be wrong. I think that's everything that we went through. Exterior torso, disturbing vocalizations. Ah, right, okay. Oh god. Oh, there's more, I don't care. Clusters contain several subsumed larynxes that intermittently vocalize. There seems to be no coordination or pattern to the vocalizations. The vocalizations can very roughly map to English phonemes. I know that I know how to pronounce that. I've just forgotten because I'm extremely 3 a.m. right now, with no linguistic meaning. The filtration adjusting for the distortions, the vocal characteristics seem to correlate with the audio samples provided with the crew profiles.
The crew is transforming.
So the crew is transforming. The crew was transformed because of this project that they're doing with this crew, where they were changing the DNA. The blood cultivation group. Okay. So, Shuttle 5, their thing was to go behind Jupiter and see stuff, but they were actually doing a blood cultivation experiment. Interesting. Molecular analysis. The novel stem cells present in the blood co-occur with the high concentrations of formerly unknown psychostimulant. In tandem with these substances are responsible for powerful regenerative and transformative effects within the cluster. As hoped, there is strong potential for a new class of therapeutic drugs designs if the right inhibiting factors can be determined. Oh, that's a screaming person face. You can't lie to me. That's a screaming person face. Now it's not anymore. Now it looks like a nerve diagram from my biology textbook. Anyways, inhibitor breakthrough. I'll put this over, I don't know, here. Sure, why not? At this point, it's just all a mess. We've had a major breakthrough in one of the inhibitor strategies and can now proudly announce that we've confirmed the music is gone. Confirmed full stabilization. With this last hurdle, we can finally begin moving towards public trials. Oh! So inhibitor B antigen. Preliminary tests indicate the presence of new compounds does provoke an immune response. At low doses and mixed with antigen, the immune system could be provoked to sufficiently suppress the transformative side effects. So they've made an antigen for the thing that was transforming the people on board by using the new compounds. Ideation. Oh. New article. Opinion, a world crisis. A world crisis. A world in crisis. Okay. No jobs, no support, nowhere to call home. It's no wonder they're calling themselves the hopeless generation. Across the country, across the world, more and more are discarded and forgotten, slipping into the ever-widening cracks of our society. Whole city blocks are being cut off and being declared slum districts. Are we surprised about rising suicides and declining births for generations that see no future for themselves and no future for their children? They call it the Euphoron crisis, but if you ask me, Euphoron is nothing more than a sedative for the society that's already on its deathbed. Oh. So Euphoron is a drug of humanity is taking to calm themselves of whatever issues they're facing right now. And because there's not enough Euphoron to go around, everyone's going crazy. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. But also we had to do something else. This one, Euphoron Crisis. Alright, here we go. 2 of these. They both are equally long. Enhanced libido has long been... Oh right, there's that sex killing thing going on. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but here you go. All right. Has long been among the alleged effects of Euphoron, but more and more cases are emerging out of suicide. Okay, I have to mute my audio for this. I can't hear the music that's happening in the background right now. But more and more cases are emerging of suicide under effects of Euphoron, often with highly sexual components. One highly high-profile case, ritualistic assumed, connected to Euphoron cults, involved an orgy of a dozen people under the influence of a severe Euphoron overdose. Euphoron overdose results into extreme physiological changes to the body and a drawn-out brain death that is irreversible. I would hope brain death is irreversible. Is death reversible for you? Is normal death just reversible? Suspicious. In light of the concern of pathogenic danger in advanced Euphoron effects, reported cases are met with euthanasia and incineration. So let's go with alleged Euphoron. Oh. Are they transforming? Alright. Euphoron lets you rise above the din of anxieties to see the full picture. The human race, we're all the same, we're all connected, you know. And yes, it makes you want to fuck everyone. Oh yeah, you know, I just want to fuck everyone. They aren't kidding about that. Okay. Alright, Euphoron cults. Alright, this goes down like that. In the shadow of the gift, in the shadow of Jupiter, humanity sat on the table of the gods. They gave us a simple message. So Jupiter, for those who don't know, is the Roman version of Zeus, who is the king of, who's the god of all gods, right? Or like the leader of the gods. So the shadow of Jupiter is here a metaphor for in the shadow of God. Humanity sat at the table of the gods. They gave us a simple message: relinquish your flesh and become as us. Euphoron is their gift, the blood of salvation. Enter the convent and open to them. Become one of us. Oh my gosh! Euphoron flesh farms. A room full of Euphoron addicts writhing in a naked mass of flesh. They're so out of it, they're not even aware we're there. With Euphoron adaptations, their bodies have begun to produce it naturally. They draw the blood and refine Euphoron. That's where they get it all from. The entire street Euphoron soap. Oh god! Imagine taking something so much that you become the source for it. That's horrifying. Horrifyingly cool, but still horrifying, okay? There's one thing over here, right? There was one thing to click on over here. This reminds me of Welcome to the Game a little bit because I'm like clicking on notes, going to the next one, finding like the link in the thing. Hear this message, they said, and here I shall do. Euphoron hallucinations. With every trip, it's more intense. The flood of connectedness, feeling a part of something, of everything. The anxieties of the world no longer saturated in the air. My fantasies of Euphoron orgies feel like dreams. I feel like angels speaking my every voice beckon me. I'm not afraid. I'm very afraid. Please be afraid of me too. Euphoron void. This thing terrifies me. It sits fully inert, a fixed point, a hole in space. Everything around it warps and distorts like a black hole, but it has no gravity, no pull. Except that's a terrifying thing. I am pulled down by the dark fascination with the oblivion, the edge of reality, staring into the infinity and not being able to look away. How could something so perfect, so pure, so cold emerge from these twisted human flesh? Oh. This is a physical thing. I think, maybe. Unless it's metaphorical. Which I thought it was, but it seems more like a physical reaction of the Euphoron juice. Euphoron juice, that's what it is. Tasty juice. Alright, so we go back here. Well, back here, we haven't read this one yet. City declares Euphoron crisis. Today our city has officially declared Euphoron crisis, making it the 73rd major city in this country to accept voluntary sanctions. In accordance with the Federal Act, Intel Tracks will be given full jurisdiction. Intel Tracks are the same company that the captain of the Jupiter mission, from whence he came from, over disease control and, where necessary, biohazard remediation. City residents can expect curfews, rolling lockdowns, and random testing within the coming months. Oh no, there's more changes. Front control. Under the Federation Act, Intel Tracks is authorized to assist in the government's front control program for the following purposes: supply chain tracing, random drug testing, biohazard remedy. I don't think this is a good idea. This is a terrible idea. But I think Intel Tracks is the one behind the whole project thing, isn't it? Because they're the one who sent the captain to the ship and everything. Oh yeah. Trending article. So that's a new article that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Alright, so trending article, that right next to it. The exchange. What really happened to Shuttle 5? Here we go. What really happened to Shuttle 5? People will say that they were touched by aliens or gods, but here's what I think. Shuttle 5 passed further out than ever before, so far from Earth, the cradle of humanity, so far from the warmth of human connection. When they passed into the shadow of Jupiter, they passed into the shadow of existence, out of sight, out of contact, out of reality itself. Call it God if you like. They touched for a moment the sacred state of unbeing, and returned transformed in the image of their own desire, of humanity desires projected onto them. Shuttle 5 was a message in a bottle, a plea for salvation from ourselves. Uncertain times, uncertain dreams. Euphoron sickness airborne. Euphoron night terrors. It's only a link to Euphoron sickness, and sickness penetrates quarantine. Anomaly consuming city. Oh wow, that's a big hole. That's a big oh. Oh wow. That's really cool. I like how it does that. That is actually super cool. I like this game. It was pretty fun. I like the way you like go through like each node and it keeps on going. And you know, like a lot of games do that. They have like notes in the games, and then they show you what's happening in the game, the lore of the place and the people in that area. And I do like it, but in those kind of games, you don't really always, not a lot of people always read those notes because it's not the main part of the gameplay. And in this, it is that main part of the gameplay, which makes it super interesting to play, because you're only concentrating on that one story, which again is super fun to do. And I really like this. I do wish, well, if they make another game like this, I do wish it was more like a monitor, like you have like a screen and a computer and a desktop and all that going on, and then you can like shuffle it all around like that. I think that would look super cool. But yeah, that was an interesting story, and I feel like it isn't finished. But that could just be me, because I do feel like there could be more to the story, more about the space thing. I wish there was more about the space station, because I kind of felt like the name of the game plus like all of like this could have gone really well if they concentrated on like the space part. But I did like how it showed an overview of everything that's happened. They conducted an experiment on space. They found a drug. They were testing a drug. They found out the effect of it. They put it into the public, and the public got addicted to it, and then there was not enough being made, and the public went into craving, and then it just started destroying humanity. I think this was really cool storytelling. It's very unique. I've never seen any other story made like this, or played any other game like this, where it's mainly like sticky notes. There could be another game that this could be like a, imitating or anything like that, but I played this, and this was very fun. I liked the way it was concentrating on the story. The one thing I do wish is that the music was different. It had this kind of like hype kind of music. I wish it was a little creepier, because I feel like it could have been a little creepier, but that's just me being me, and I beat the dumb and weird. And that was very fun to play. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you want to see more of my videos, there's links down below. And there are other cool story-based games that I've played. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!